The Dark Wizard King has returned, and we just witnessed one of the best moments in the history of Black Clover. This chapter changes everything. The character development was absolutely beautiful. The ending of this chapter may be the best chapter ending in the entire series, so let's get into it. You guys know how this works. If you enjoy my Black Clover content and you want me to keep making more, leave a quick like and comment right now to help me out with that YouTube algorithm. And if you happen to be one of the over 50% of people who watch my videos but aren't subscribed yet, do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button right now. We are trying to hit 2 million subscribers here on the channel. That would be insane. Finally, this video will of course contain Black Clover manga spoilers, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. So as we saw in the last chapter, once the Black Bulls confronted Paladin Damnatio, they took extreme risks and made extreme sacrifices just to buy the witches and Finral enough time to finish the ritual and bring Asta back from Hino country. Many of the Black Bulls were seriously injured, and Gray and Gauche were horribly wounded. Their wounds are definitely bad enough to be called fatal under normal circumstances, but this is a shonen with magic, so we can't jump to conclusions. At the end of the chapter, Sakura was able to seal Gray and Gauche's injuries in order to prevent them from dying, and then those Black Bulls who were still standing continued their punishing fight against Damnatio. The latest chapter begins with Sakura explaining that her sealing magic was able to seal the wounds and pain that Gray and Gauche have suffered up to this point. But if Sakura takes too much damage during the battle, her magic will be undone and Gray and Gauche will die. I have to say that as tragic as the panel of the two of them looks, it's also eerily romantic, as it is clear that Gauche sacrificed his life to protect Gray, and we see that Gray is reaching out towards Gauche lovingly, even as she appears to be on the brink of death. Nevertheless, this chapter establishes that thanks to Sakura's sealing magic, Gray and Gauche are not technically dead, so there is still hope for them. Meanwhile, the remaining Black Bulls are still going all out against Damnatio, and we see that Charmy is using her food magic to manifest that giant wolf that consumes the magic of others. And she is using this giant wolf to fight Damnatio. Everyone really is doing their very best under these difficult circumstances, and we see that some of the Guardian Angels have been successfully damaged and destroyed by the Black Bulls. That in itself is no easy feat, but of course, that's still not enough to defeat Damnatio. That said, Damnatio is somewhat concerned. The Black Bulls are managing to destroy his angels, and they are even able to reach him directly and attack him. Overall, they are being effective in their mission. They are definitely buying more time for Asta to arrive, even though this comes at a great cost to their own bodies. Damnatio feels that he has no other choice but to activate his secret weapon, a final deadly trick that he has up his sleeve. Suddenly, we see Charmy in her adult form being slashed by what looks like 1,000 little cuts, and this takes her completely by surprise. Zora suffers a similar fate just as he is about to reach Damnatio, and he is suddenly unable to make contact with him. Damnatio then reveals the dark truth. Some of the paladins were given a second magic attribute by Lucius, and he himself was granted the power of the supreme ranked devil, Baal. This supreme devil was purified by Lucius, and then his power was bestowed upon Damnatio, kind of like the power of Beelzebub was bestowed upon Paladin Lily. Baal possesses atmosphere magic, and this magic appears to create an invisible barrier around Damnatio that destroys everything that comes close to it. Damnatio is trying to pull a Satoru Gojo over here by making it virtually impossible to make contact with him. And good luck defeating someone you can't even land a single hit on. Say what you will about Lucius, but he definitely didn't underestimate Asta and the Black Bulls. Although he couldn't come to stop the ritual himself, he definitely made sure that Paladin Damnatio would be as overpowered as possible for this fight. In this moment of desperation for the Black Bulls, we are given some insight into Sakura's state of mind at this time. And although you might be thinking, man, I don't really care about Sakura's inner monologue, I just want to see the fight, trust me, this is worth it. Sakura's perspective here sets up one of the best moments in Black Clover, in my humble opinion. Due to the fact that she spent 500 years as the bird Nero, Sakura had largely lost touch with her humanity. In particular, she stopped having any lingering attachments to the world and everyone in it. Back before she became Nero, her entire life revolved around Lumiere, And once Lumiere was sealed away, her life's sole purpose was waiting for the moment that he would be unsealed. So she didn't want to be attached to the world in any way. She didn't want friends or family or any such thing, because her job was to wait for hundreds of years. All the people she might have gotten attached to in the meantime would have gotten old and died anyway, so what was the point of getting close to anyone? But then, when Lumiere was finally unsealed, he told Sacre that now was the time for her to win new happiness for herself and to make new friends in this era. That is exactly what she found with the Black Bulls. New friends that she became close to, new happiness, and new deep and personal attachments. She fully regained her humanity, and her heart expanded and became a truly human heart once again. So now, as Sacre watches her new friends, her new family, being viciously attacked and brutally injured by Damnatio, she just can't take it anymore. She begs for it all to stop. She can't bear the thought of losing her new friends and her new life. As Damnatio finally breaks into the place where the ritual is taking place, things look really bad. Vanessa and the other witches can't keep focusing on the ritual because the enemy is right there and attacking them. So the ritual is over. Sacre is injured and lying on the floor. She is watching all of this happening. She is witnessing the impending death of all her friends and loved ones. In an act of pure desperation, she calls out to Asta. She says that the reason she's alive, the reason she has friends now, the reason she got her heart back, it's all because of Asta. Sacre screams out for Asta to come back already. "I can't keep going on without you," she says, and you can truly see the pain and desperation in her face. As we know, Sacre is very rarely emotional, so it is truly heartbreaking to see her so intensely emotional in this moment. As expected, Sacre's cries have no effect on Damnatio, and he prepares to end it all right here and now. But then, Sacre feels a hand touch the top of her head, and suddenly she realizes that none other than our boy Asta is standing just above her. Asta doesn't pause to speak to anyone directly. His face is stern and determined, his eyes are firmly fixed on Damnatio, and as he finally steps forward to face the paladin, Sacre sees just how much Asta resembles Lumiere. Asta is without a doubt Wizard King material. Asta thanks everyone for buying him the time he needed, and as the long-awaited battle between Asta and Damnatio is about to commence, this epic chapter comes to an end. Okay, I freaking loved this moment with Sacre and Asta. Not only did it give us so much character depth and development for Sacre, but Asta placing his hand on her head in that moment of desperation gave me the same vibes as the Nami and Luffy scene in Arlong Park. The moment when Luffy places his straw hat upon Nami's head. That is the moment I knew that One Piece would be an absolutely legendary series. And for me to say that a scene in another manga reminded me of that moment is the highest praise I can give to Black Clover. I was wondering how Tabata would bring Asta back. And after all that anticipation, I was wondering how Asta's return could possibly live up to all the hype. Honestly, I have to say kudos to Tabata because he did it. This was truly awesome, emotional, and incredibly satisfying. Did you guys like Asta's return as much as I did? Let me know in the comments. But okay, what happens now? Asta is obviously gonna fight Damnatio, and since most of the Black Bulls are already injured, we can expect this to be a pretty much one-on-one fight. With anti-magic on his side and all the new skills he learned in Hino Country, Asta is of course the heavy favorite, but we do have to talk about Ball. We know he's not one of the 3 strongest devils, but he is a supreme rank or highest ranked devil, so we can't underestimate him. In the demon lore of our own world, the demon Baal or Baal is a demonic king who has the power of invisibility, including the ability to make others invisible. In some versions of the story, he is also a shapeshifter, and he has the ability to make himself popular with the people. Depending on the version, he is also sometimes referred to as a subordinate of either Astaroth or Lucifugus. The part about invisibility has already been established since Damnatio can use Baal's power to create deadly invisible barriers. But I wonder what other powers Baal will allow Damnatio to use. Will he be able to make himself invisible? Will he be able to shapeshift? Will he be able to brainwash Asta's allies with his powers of popularity to switch sides and fight against Asta instead? I can't wait to see what other powers this Supreme Devil has in his arsenal. And definitely let me know what powers you guys think he has down in the comments below. Finally, this chapter made it very clear that Asta is Wizard King material. Sacre sees him as someone who clearly embodies the essence of the first Wizard King Lumiere. And the way that Asta showed up and comforted Sacre in her moment of need definitely screams next Wizard King to me. So what do you guys think? Was this Tabata foreshadowing that Asta will in fact become the next Wizard King? Will the Clover Kingdom ever accept a Dark Wizard King who has the power of a devil on his side? Don't forget to leave your feedback below. If you enjoyed this Black Clover video and you want to see more in the future, leave a quick like right now. And if you're new to the channel or you're one of the over 50% of people who watch my videos but haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, please do me a huge favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Subscribing on YouTube is completely free, but it helps me out a lot. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!